Hey collectors, welcome to Star Wars Collected. I'm Jonathan. If you're new here, I hope you consider subscribing and sticking around. If you've been here before, hit that like button like the broadside of a womp rat. What I have for you guys today is a lightsaber. I haven't had a lightsaber here for a while. We're going to be taking a look at Princess Leia's lightsaber from Black Series. All right guys, I have it here right from Target. This kept getting moved back. It feels like every single week I had to approve an email that said like the Target delivery date has moved. Do you approve this? And I kept saying yes. Now, I don't think this is supposed to be out yet, but I could be wrong. I think it's supposed to be later in the month or later in the year, but I've seen a couple people who seem to already have it, so we'll find out what is inside here, and it is indeed Leia's lightsaber. So maybe I'm wrong, maybe these are everywhere and just no one's doing videos on them, but this is the Star Wars, the Black Series Force FX Elite lightsaber from Hasbro. I chose this one over the one that's in the parks because I didn't like the one in the parks. I kept seeing that the sides, the little pearl pieces were curling up on people. It looked a little fat. So in the versions that I kept seeing online, this one looked a little bit better for me. So, you know, guys, we're kind of getting used to these new Force FX boxes and things of that nature, but they have a lot of cool angles on them. You know, I'm not a huge box lover, but you know, for a box, it's pretty cool. Some good visuals here. This is gonna have two different necks, so you can see right here that this is not the accurate one, but this is the one that can accommodate a blade. That's always a downside of something like this, but they do include, on the back here you can see it, they do include a sort of display emitter is what they're calling it, which is the only one that I'm going to be using because we're all about, you know, canon and accuracy as much as we can be here on the channel. So yeah, two different emitters you can screw on. When you have this one on, the blade does not fit into it, but I'm not really here for the blades. So I know for a lot of you guys that having the blades is important, and you may, you know, end up having to have the fat one on there, which kind of cuts down on the accuracy. But for me, that's not a big deal. So let's go ahead and slice it open here. Now this lightsaber, of course, only appeared on screen for a few minutes in The Rise of Skywalker. You know, Rise of Skywalker, certainly a controversial film in the community. I didn't hate it. I would say that it was a little underwhelming, and there were some decisions made that I thought were a little far-fetched. But you know what? I just kind of love Star Wars, so I'm not going to let that ruin what I think is a pretty cool design, and I think something that we all kind of wanted to see. You know, we know that Leia is capable of the Force, and we've got little tastes of that during the sequel trilogy. So first thing I'm pulling out here, this is the emitter that would allow for the actual blade to fit in there. Nice and heavy, it's got a nice rose gold color to it. The metal, that's one thing I really like about all of these products from the Black Series Hasbro collection, that they are metal. We've got a couple pieces here that have to do with the display. I think this is my first Black Series lightsaber with this newer display, which looks pretty cool and actually has some heft to it. I would venture to say that that's metal too. You know, it doesn't quite feel as heavy as what I expect metal, but you know, it could be a kind of aluminum or something of that nature. And this will display your lightsaber. This kind of fits in there as well and accommodates the blade. So nice of them to provide a stand for it. It's probably not what I will use long term, but it is nice. I'm gonna continue to remove things here. We of course have some paperwork and things of that nature, telling us all about, you know, Leia Organa, Force FX Elite, and a little thing that pops open here. It's gonna have this really nice portrait of her face with the lightsaber in there. Again, that was very brief on screen, but I think as soon as a lot of us saw that Leia now has a lightsaber, we were all pretty interested in getting that for our collection. And like I said, this seems like this is the better of the two widely available ones. I know as soon as Tross came out, that there were a number of vendors online also offering those. So these aren't your only options. You might find some options from some third parties that you like better. But I have found that the Black Series has done a pretty good job for me in the past. And with these being so readily available, it's a lot easier to you know, stomach the price of this than it is some of the price of the third-party ones, even if the third-party ones are a little bit nicer at times. So I love that the Hasbro is continuing their commitment to not using a bunch of plastic in their packaging. I have these sort of little paper ties here. They are a bit of a pain to get off, but you know what? A couple extra seconds in my life here versus having some little plastic ties living for eternity in a junkyard is okay with me. All right. So here we have the actual hilt. I'm gonna do my best to not put my fingerprints all over the rose gold parts. But you know, overall it looks pretty good. There's a couple places maybe on the rose gold that I might try to wipe a little bit and see if I can get a little bit more of a polish on it. But there's a lot of really cool details. I really love this neck piece here. You know, you have that on here as well. And I love that it's so skinny right in these areas. Nice little pearl button there, and it actually is the button. One of the things that has been driving me insane about the Legacy lightsabers to the Disney parks is that sometimes they'll just randomly place a button somewhere else. They did that on my Kenobi saber. It makes me sad. I don't know why they did that, but that's what they did. They just decided to put a button somewhere. And there's a little sticker right here that shows us that we need to undo one of these screws here to loosen up the battery pack. So I don't plan to long-term keep batteries in it, but I will light it up for you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and unscrew this top hilt piece just so you guys can get a look at what that is like. Quite a few threads on it, comes apart like that, and you can then swap it for the less accurate but blade compatible version. So, you know, a little less interesting looking that way. I'm glad that the Canon production version is this with the tiny little neck pieces there. Reminds me a little bit more of, you know, Luke's lightsaber, Obi-Wan's lightsaber, a little bit more in that sort of legacy that we're kind of used to, you know, being obsessed with. So we're gonna take the blade out of here as well. Same thing, no plastic ties on this one. They have the little paper ones. So we'll undo those. And actually, you know, I probably only have to undo the one because I can probably slide it out. So her lightsaber was blue. I'm not sure if that's the color I would have picked. You know, it would have been interesting to have a different color for Leia, but also blue sort of fits her family lineage, so maybe blue was the right choice. What color would you have chosen for Leia if not that? My first thought is sort of a rose gold color, but a red color coming out of a lightsaber, even if it's not, you know, completely red, is sort of a bad thing in Star Wars most of the time. So we're gonna go ahead and plug this into here. I'm not exactly sure what lines up with what. I do see a little tab on one side, so we'll just go ahead and try to slide it in here and see what happens. So guys, it looks like what you actually do is you install this neck piece over top of this. So you go ahead and put the blade in. And that twists, and then you install the neck piece over top of that. Don't want to mess up the threads on this and not be able to put the neck on it that I prefer. So we've got the blade attached here. You know, I know that the real dueling sabers that people use are made of a little bit higher quality plastic that can really take a beating than these, but these always feel pretty solid to me. So let's go ahead and put some batteries in it and we'll get it fired up. All right, so you back the screw that's right here all the way out, and then you can pull this out. Kind of a bummer in that I will of course remove that sticker, but it would be nice if that still had some sort of way for you to know that that was the one to undo. You know, I don't want that to come at the cost of the appearance, so maybe I can't have my cake and eat it too. So let's have some batteries here. These are some AA's. It takes 3 AA's. So we'll place those in here. The little battery pack that you bring out actually has some cool kind of like etchings on it and things of that nature. It makes it feel, you know, very technical and digital, almost as if it was sort of the innings of the lightsaber itself. And there you line it up and you get that back inside. And we will screw this cap back on. And I'm gonna leave the screw out because that's not going to affect how it works. But here we go. You guys ready? First light up of Leia's saber. Ooh. Taking my ceiling out with Leia's lightsaber here. So, you know, always good sounds. They always do a good job with these. Like I said, it's not how I plan to display mine, so just kind of doing this for you guys, honestly, but has sort of the standard sounds that you're used to hearing. I don't recall in the movie whether her sounds sounded the same or not, but you know, you got a nice, nice blue, bright blue light here, so that's pretty cool. And you know, it's just sort of an elegant saber. I really do like the little pearl parts, and I like the rose gold. You know, it's just something different. It sort of matches our princess, you know, just a little elegant, but still, you know, pretty badass weapon if you ask me. Well, there you go, collectors. This is the Hasbro Black Series lightsaber of Princess Leia. Kind of exactly what you'd expect. We'll go ahead and put it here in the stand, and it sort of fits around the D-ring. This is somewhat adjustable, but you know, not a bad looking display, quite honestly. It, you know, it kind of fits the hilt. I love the little cutouts on the back. So a nice way to display it. Like I said, I will be displaying it with this neck, which I vastly prefer, but that comes at the cost of not having the blade installed and lit up. So guys, let me know, what do you think of this lightsaber? Would you have gone with the Disney Park version instead? If you guys aren't following me on Instagram, make sure you follow me on Instagram, because there's always fun, cool stuff going on there. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave me a like. If you like videos like this, please subscribe, because we have a ton of videos coming. You can, of course, always check my back catalog too, but we have like 20 or 30 things to open up over the next few weeks here, including some pieces which I'm looking at right now off camera that I never ever thought I was going to get to own. So really excited about what's to come here, and I will see you guys later.